see if I'm live right now. Just verify it. It says here that I'm live, but I don't know. Let's put the volume down. Let me check on my channel. Okay. Apparently I'm live, guys. So here I am. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. So I want to do this live stream because I don't want to spend my time editing anything, and the live stream is easier. And I want to talk about a few things that involves The Last of Us Part 2 and all the controversy that came around it. Let's start basically from the beginning. So a few months ago, some leaks about this Last of Us Part 2 were released on the internet. I don't remember exactly which one, where it was released first. If it was in the, I don't know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever, but I'm pretty sure it was on Reddit that someone posted leaks, plot leaks, videos, cutscenes that, let's just say, most people that played the first game kind of didn't like it, because in the leaks they show us that the newest protagonist of the newest game, they're gonna kill Joe. And if you play the first game, you kind of are a little bit connected to him because he's pretty much the main character in the first game. With this, whatever. Most people didn't like it, and some members from the Phantom Menace, they simply do, because most of all, YouTubers that are Phantom Menace, they are first of all, they are kind of reporters, so they're gonna report, they're gonna talk about some leaks involving whatever. And since 2016, from the release of the Ghostbusters, we have all this corporated idea of hating on the viewer, hating on your fans, because for them we are kind of nothing. So what happened is that the moment that the leaks were released, a few channels, but in specific, the Geeks and Gamers, the one got and the other members in associated channels, we received a bunch of copyright strikes involving spreading the leaks from the Last of Us Part 2. We need to analyze the thing. If the leaks were real or not, Naughty Dogs, they should simply let it go. But they didn't. They want to protect the baby because for some reason they think that the free publicity that the entire society involving, is the new game gonna be good or gonna be bad? They didn't like that. They didn't want that. They didn't want people talking bad things about The Last of Us. So they decided to emit community strikes and takedowns and community posts, YouTube videos, Twitter, and anything that had any type of spoiler involving The Last of Us. And what happens is Naughty Dogs and Sony deciding to remove the, how can you say, they decide to remove the content from the internet, generating strengths and effect that made more people come and see the no, they made more people wanted to come see the memes involving the game. So what happens is they decide to double down, they decide to keep doing it, and more people got involved in all of this. What happened is we have many people that are fans, Sony and Naughty Dog fans. So we have here Chris Reagan, that I follow him, that's a very nice guy. And let me just specify a thing. He made a post telling, with a picture of, if it loads, of course, okay, with a picture of The Last of Us symbol, meaning that they had the game, and that he would play it to see how well the game would be. We need to take in consideration that Chris Reagan, he is a member of a podcast on which they pretty much only cover PlayStation things, Sony, and stuff like that. He's the co-host of the podcast, united with Scott Moriarty, and you can see here the Chris. He already announced that he kind of don't care about the game, and even the co-host, Colin Moriarty, he kind of just said right now that he didn't want to play the game, and he will not play the game. Responded to the Chris Sagan post. It was 14 hours ago, exactly, because Colin replied 1 hour later. What happened is the game launched, and we need to see a thing. That's the discussion that I want to talk about. Is critics really an important? Is criticism? It's like a person that professionally critique a movie. They are really important, because how can say, okay, we have here right now on Metacritic a Metacritic score of 95. That's the one they are announcing as being perfect, almost perfect, but it's based on 94 critical reviews. Okay, right here, 94 critics. But the user score, the score that you, the end user, the one that is going to kind of play the game, you're supposed to like it, you're supposed to, enjoy the game. It gets a 3.4 points on user score by 107,000 people. It's retarded, because the critic job is not tell just if the game is good in a concept based. A critic job is he will get the product, being food, being a game, being whatever it is, and he will play it, eat it, use it, do whatever. And he, with his expertise as in whatever it is, as food, game, whatever, he'll be able to tell if people, normal people, not critics, gamers, the clients in a hotel or wherever that's gonna eat the food or play the game, they are supposed to tell if the game is good enough to us to play. But look at this. It's a discrepancy so powerful that, okay, so let's say critical reviews. We have 91 positive, We have 3 mixed and 0 negative. There's nothing bad to talk about it. Everybody giving 100, 100, giving a 95. That's just. But let's go to the user review. Stunning game, excellent storytelling that builds upon the unforgiving apocalypse. Top-notch game for its genre. Another masterpiece by Naughty Dog. This guy gave a 10. Okay, that's considering. I don't know how you see it. Okay, this is another one that gave a 10 from the user reviews. Best game ever. Never played, that's so amazing since first chapter. I really like the history, yes, different like the others, but that's why it's good. Graphically, I didn't believe it, of course. Thank you, Neil. Fuck him. Okay. From all of the user reviews, that I believe that they are in. Yes, they are in crescent order, in the crescent order. And okay, this one is a fuck. It's a review in Portuguese, and I will translate it. Pretty much, he's saying that Naughty Dog did a good job in the visual aspect of the game, and that it can't be denied. But what made most of us like the first game was the history, mostly the characters. Both are disrespected in the second sequence, and with characters acting in a very different, strange way from the first game. The questionable history of The Last of Us Part 2 is from far away Lucas' point. Mostly after the first director of the game, Neil Druckmann, admitting in an interview or in that thing that he tells that the reason that he would make the game like this is because he wants to pretty much bend his knee down for the people. And this review here is the literal translation of the reason why this game is kind of sucks, and why we shouldn't be trusting on critics, professional critics. Another guy gave a 1, how to destroy franchise, storytelling 0 out of 10, gameplay 8 out of 10, graphics 9 out of 10, but The Last of Us franchise is all about history. Now it's a SJW game. Another one that contains spoilers. I'm going on killing speed, but I'm gonna forgive the murdering of my savior just because I had one flashback of Joey playing guitar. Ridiculous. Okay, another one with spoilers. Was a game of all time. Was a game of all time. Was a game of all time. No one liked it. I don't know why people are praising this game if the actual users are the one that didn't like it. We had 1,107 positive reviews from users, 137 mixed, and 4,009 negative user reviews. Why? Why? I played the game for around 4.5 to 5 hours, and the entire game, in my opinion, is not better than a 4. It's not better than. If this game here if the user score go up 4.1, I would believe that's wrong. Maximum that this game gets is a 4. Minimum is a 3, 2.5. It's just, I don't get it. Let's go to the user reviews. Yeah. First of all, we have him bound in the comics that they managed to do a very good explanation about it. And I'm gonna read for you. Here's what users are saying, sorted by Metacritic's most helpful tab. Chopper323 gives the game 1 out of 10. They write, honestly, it's a straight dog game, isn't it the reason why everyone's so upset? It's not dog. Running such beloved characters and creating a terrible history in the process that makes this game unbearable to even finish. The only good thing about this game is the graphics, but I wouldn't even say that's a complaint because we already expect them to be good. Just stick with the first game. Even the direct link here to the Naughty Dog Silence, the leaks. Um, Fungeni, Fungeni Juice gave the game a 3 out of 10. They write, "It breaks my heart to write this, but I really did not expect such a poor history after all these years of waiting. While there were a few genuine good moments, the majority of the game filled up with plot holes. It just took elements of what worked for the first game without understanding what made them compelling." And Vangelis had added, "It seems like this game was done by other studio, but it's not. The basic gameplay has stayed the same, for better or the worse. Environment puzzles are almost gone, so remove story from the table and you are left with the shallow gameplay that will have you looking for some other game." And that's exactly the thing that I want to talk about this game. When I played the first game, I kind of didn't care about the world or the how can I explain? I didn't care about the world around the game. I care about the history involving the two main characters and the history that they had together that not just supplements the entire environment and the world around them, but it makes better. And this game has almost none of this. So the question is really important to us, the end players, the usage and the knowledge of the quote-unquote critics as, let's just say, the final word of quality should be given to someone who calls themselves a professional on it or the end user. Because if I am a person that never played the first game and never played a video game before, and someone came out to me, 100 people came up to me and said, "Dude, don't play this. If you want to start playing game, don't play The Last of Us 2. You play the first one, but don't play The Last of Us 2." And then came one professional and say, "I am a professional at reviewing games, and I want to tell you to play The Last of Us 2." Who you would believe? 100 different people telling you that no, one person that calls himself professional telling yes. That's pretty much it. You guys decide. By the way, Chris, he also replied to his own tweets. Let me just say what he said. Let me close this, close this, close this. Okay, this tweet with Chris Reagan where he said, "Alright, let's see how it goes," showing the picture of The Last of Us Part 2. And Colin Moriarty responded that he wouldn't play it. Someone, wait a second, he responded after a few hours that, wait, let it load. Anyway, Chris Reagan responded after 8 hours he was playing the game, that the game isn't a masterpiece, as the quote-unquote critics are saying, but he also said that the game's not bad. That's exactly my point. The history is not good, everything is not good, but they are not awful, they are not bad. That's the point. So here, we have here, 8 hours in so far, moving soon. So I'm trying to blast through it. And I'm going to say this game was overhyped in both directions. It's not nearly as bad as I've seen people say, and it's not really a masterpiece level, either aside from the animation. Am I missing something? Pretty much, it's just him admitting that the game is just a meh game. That at the end of the day is the worst kind of game. because a good bad game you may remember, like Sonic, or I don't know, I don't play a lot of bad games. And a good game we remember as The Last of Us 1. This one is just meh. So someone, Kuriochi, responded to Chris again. Are you saying it's incredible mediocre? Which responder? Honestly, I think it's fine slash good. I don't love it the first one, but the characters keep me going, and it seems like a similar thing here. I might hate it when I'm done, but as far as I know, I think it's fine. 7.5, 8, about a 7.5 or 8, which is also what I would score the first one. That's the thing. Cruiser Gun, this game is pretty much meh. Meh. Someone called Barneter responded that his opinion about games like that, The Last of Us, shouldn't get sequels. Crusader agreed, and pretty much is it. Anyway, thank you for watching this live stream. I see you guys, I don't know, someday in the future, and about that,